يسقط يسقط حكم العسكر. ايوه بنهتف ضد العسكر. يسقط يسقط حكم العسكر. يسقط يسقط حكم العسكر. يسقط يسقط حكم العسكر.
Here demonstrating peacefully. The interim government has a different story, a different narrative. They claim that this is not a peaceful demonstration. They claim that there's elements within this demonstrations that are armed. Again, something we haven't seen, and they've used that as justification for this operation, repeatedly saying this demonstration is a threat to national security. Listen, sounding the alarm that this demonstration needs to be cleared out. But again, as you heard earlier, as you continue to hear this refrain that, you know, we are peaceful, we don't have weapons, and based on what we're seeing from our small vantage point here, again, it's impossible to say what's happening over there. From our small vantage point here, we haven't seen anyone firing weapons, only clubs, batons, and plenty of people working together to put up makeshift barriers, anything to keep security forces away.
And Reza, from your vantage point there, and from what I can see, there don't appear to be women and children present. This seems to be all men, and it seems to be quite a slice of Egyptian society as well.
First of all, we should tell you that you're right. At this point, we don't see any women. But when we were coming down the street, we saw a handful of women moving out. One of the women I saw leaning up against the wall, crying on the cell phone. It looks like at least some of the women and the many children who were here have moved to a different location. So what we're seeing here are people who are ready for the fight, and most of them are men. I do see a woman walking by us right now, but mostly this is men here. Yeah.
So, Reza, I mean, that's a very important point, but it also signals for these men this is very serious, but they're very vulnerable there. I mean, as you pointed out, they have no weapons, or they certainly don't appear to at this point. We're talking about basic rocks and stones. This could end very badly if it continues going in the direction it appears to be going in.
Yeah, it certainly can, Rosemary. And when I look at what's around me, I'm not sure how this is going to end. I cannot see a scenario with which security forces are going to move these people out without more people being hurt, without more people being killed. And, you know, I'm not sure what the strategy is for security forces. Obviously, they made a decision to move in today. What was their plan? What does the operation entail? What do they want to accomplish today? Did they really think that they can move these people out? If so, how? These questions are unanswered at this point, but certainly it is clear that an operation is underway and security forces are attempting to do something. But it's not clear what the plan is. And you mentioned that there's a lot of vulnerable people out here. Certainly that's the case. I mean, these people are unarmed. They don't have bulletproof vests. Some of them have helmets. Some of them have gas masks for tear gas. We see bottled vinegar, which some of them use to diffuse the effects of the tear gas. But beyond that, they're sitting here waiting with rocks. Again, this is from our small vantage point here. Sure. Impossible for us to tell what's happening beyond this point. But this is what we're seeing now. And here's a protester.
Excuse me, all my friend is killed. Really, all my friend is killed.
What is that on your? Whose blood is that?
This blood for my friend, and another person I don't know him. But many people is killed. Many people is killed. You see here?
Okay.
Here.
Where?
I see today. Sometimes I see today no right for that. شفت حاجات النهارده انا مش قادر اوصفها.
They can't describe what happened.
Okay.
From the big guys, what happened here. If you go to the hospital, the Square Hospital, you will find dead bodies with hundreds all over the places. And
again, can you guys hear us? Are we still on air?
We are. Keep going, Reza.
Okay. Okay.
Reza, I understand that there were a number of...
Okay.
You okay? I understand there are a number of senior Muslim Brotherhood leaders who are at the Rabaa camp.
Yeah.
Do we know what their location is right now? Are they still there? Will they be the target when the military arrive or the police arrive?
That is correct. At least a number of senior Brotherhood leaders who have warrants out for arrest have been staying at the mosque, at the Rabaa al-Adawiyya mosque. It's not clear, where they are, but throughout this 6-week-long sit-in, that's where they've been holed up. And one of the justifications of this operation has okay, let's turn around. Now let's be careful. This is okay, okay, this we don't okay. You guys, I apologize. That was just too graphic to show on live television. But that appeared to be a victim of one of the clashes. I don't know what his condition was, but he was bandaged in the head, and he looked to be in awful shape. We don't know if he was still alive. He was brought over on a stretcher, and it was just too graphic to show on live television. And this is what witnesses have been describing. A lot of people injured badly, a lot of people killed, and we saw one of them at least with our own eyes. So that's the most stark evidence that this has been a violent morning, and it's very likely that the violence is going to continue.
Okay, Reza Sayed there, bringing us the very latest there from the Rabaa camp. This is the last camp. There were 2 camps which have been established and have been in place for the last 6 weeks. One camp has been cleared out. Reza is now at the main camp. And, of course, this is where there is the major concern that there could be bloodshed as the security forces move in. Reza, you're still there. Just one last thought before we let you go. When you look around you, essentially, how difficult will it be for the security forces, for the police, to move these people away? What sort of operation are we talking about? How long will this all take?
John, based on what I'm seeing at this point, I think it's going to be impossible for security forces, at least today, to move these people out. First off, because there's just a lot of them. They're defiant. To move these people out, you're going to need to outnumber them. And it doesn't look like security forces outnumber them. They have the weapons, they have the bulldozers. But my guess is that it's going to be virtually impossible.
Reza will